Hello, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me this Monday night. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, where we relax and we craft and we work on a project together. Thanks for joining me, and thank you replay viewers on Facebook and also on YouTube for watching. This will go up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies when we're done here tonight. Hello, Sue. I see you guys popping in. All right, tonight we are continuing on the I Love Home Block of the Month Quilt Along by Jacquelynne Steves. We are going to make the little checkerboard border tonight. So we finished the center area, and now we're going to do that cute border that's around the edge. So this is what I'm a little scared about because I need that good scant 1/4 inch seam allowance so that everything measures perfectly. So we'll see how close we are at the end of this. It'll be a good test, I think. I'm excited. Oh, I missed you guys too. I know, it seems so weird after a weekend. It just seems like forever. So, all right, guys, one last thing. We are going to be starting the Tweet House embroidery starting on this coming Monday on the 18th. So here it is again. I do have PDFs of it and also the printed version. Here's the printed version. We are going to color it in with crayons, and we're going to try colored pencils as well. It's called color tinting. So we are going to color tint our fabric with the design on there, kind of like a coloring book almost. It's like your own Zen coloring book, but you get to stitch it when you're done. And right now, through January 1st, you can get the free winter version of it as well. I've winterized it, put some little sparkles and snowflakes and some winter plants in there, just to change it up. So you got a spring version and a winter version. So you get that for free, whether you get the PDF digital download version or the paper version. If you want to get the paper version, I would get it today or tomorrow. So hopefully you can get it while we still are stitching on it. And I have links for that below here in the Facebook post. And if you're watching on YouTube, they'll be in the YouTube post as well. So the PDF version is really easy to get sent right to your email. And the winter version will be in that email as well. And I will be using the winter version. So I'll be printing out that from home. I won't be using the paper version of the Tweet House. So that is the plan. I'm gonna get my crayons out and we're gonna give that a try. I've not done that before, so it'll be interesting. You guys can help guide me along, I think. So, all right, I'm gonna flip you around and we will get sewing this border right now. All right, I have everything still here from Friday, so we are good to go. All right, so we are starting. I think we need 3, let's see, I need 3 of my blue strips here. This is actually, in the instructions, it's pink, but all of the pink I've changed to this blue. So, all right, don't need those little squares yet. All right, so I need 3 of these. I'm thinking maybe there are only 3, we'll see. So 1 strip, and these are the width of the fabric. So 2 strips, 3, perfect, okay. And these are the right width. Great, so we got the purple, or not the purple, the blue. And let's see, I should have 3 of these cream colored ones as well. Folded up quite a bit. All right, so 1, this looks a little thin. I'm not sure this is the right border. Yeah, this is 2 1/4. I'm looking for 2 1/2 inch border, so we must have a couple different sizes here. Yeah, this one looks a little bit wider. So I don't know what that one's for yet. Not that far in the instructions yet. All right, those are equal. Good, that's 1 pairing. This looks about the same size. Yeah, so that's the 2nd pairing. So I should have 1 more. So this one looks thin again. Here, down here looks like a wide one. Yeah, okay, so that's the 3rd one. So we must have some more little borders coming up that are a little thinner here because I got a pile of thinner ones here. We will set that to the side. I'm guessing I don't need those yet. All right, so we are going to start off by sewing strips together. So we're going to sew one of the pink, which we're using blue, one of those blue strips to one of the cream strips. So we're going to make like 2 really long strips like this. And then we'll cut them in pieces and we'll get like a little checkerboard thing going, and then I think we'll sew all those together. But we need to start out with a pile of pieces. So, all right, I'm just gonna hold them together. I'm not gonna pin or anything. I'm just gonna start them kind of on their selvages and just sew along the line. But you know what? I'm going to check the instructions before I do it. So, all right, so a white strip to a pink strip. Make sure you grab your border strips, not the binding strips. I have my binding strips in a different bag, so I know they're not the binding strips. Press seam allowance towards the pink, which is actually our blue. And we make 3 of those. Okay, that's easy. That's what I figured. I know, Sue, I cannot wait either. It's getting so close. I'm starting to see all of your guys's finished quilt tops for this I Love Home quilt pop up everywhere, and oh man, they are so beautiful. They're so rich and pretty and sweet, and they all have their own character. It is just so cool. It is really, really fun to see your guys' work. And if you wanted to share your work, post it over in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group on Facebook. We have a really nice group there, and it's a really just a nice, safe place to post your work. Oh, you touched the angry guy. No problem, Gretchen. I'll take you off the naughty list. All right, so I'm really using this business card as a guide today, just to it's like my seam guide. I'm pushing it up against that because there's that little lip. So I'm just guiding my seam along there, and then I should have that scant 1/4 inch. And a scant 1/4 inch is just, you're measuring a 1/4 inch from the edge to your needle, but it's slightly shy of a 1/4 inch. And that's so that when we fold it open, the thickness of the fabric will kind of make up for that. So we'll end up at a 1/4 inch. Oh, you had to put yours aside to work on Christmas gifts. Yeah, I believe it. Oh man, the hubs and I did all our Christmas shopping in one big blast last weekend, and we've never done that before, where we were able to get everyone's all at once. So we're pretty proud of ourselves. We didn't make oh, no problem, Patty. We didn't make many gifts this year. We've done that a few, like we've done the homemade gifts a few times already. But this year we had specific things that we wanted to get everyone, so we didn't have many homemade gifts this year. I mean, there's no babies or anything like that to make little baby stuff for. Just a pile of grown-ups who are kids. Kids at heart. All right, we are getting towards the end of this first one. So we're gonna just chill and sew and chill and cut tonight, and we are gonna take as long as it takes because I don't wanna rush too much, because I wanna make sure that my seams are straight, and I want to make sure I'm cutting straight. And there's lots of cuts and a lot of pressing and a lot of sewing straight lines. So we will go however long this takes. But we're gonna get it done. There's not much left after after we get these checkerboards done, we have, I think, one skinny border at the top and the bottom of the quilt after we get these on. Oh, no, actually, you know what? I think we have white borders. Maybe that's what those other white strips are for. I think we have white borders that go all the way around after these checkerboards. And then at the top and bottom, we have two thin little borders and then two thick borders at the top and bottom. And then that's it. Not too much. I think we might even get done before Monday. We might have a free day, but that might not be right. Ooh, I'm popped out of the needle there. We might have just the perfect amount of time. Oh, you got your little pincushion, Tracy. Oh, so cute. You should share it in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group from Fish Museum and Circus. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Our little... my little dudes like this from Fish Museum and Circus. She had another sale of these little critters, and I just love them so much. I'm still waiting for a thread-pooping unicorn, but then I think my collection's good after that. But if you want any of those, be sure to get on her newsletter, because that's the only way you find out about the sale, and they're all sold in like 2 minutes. Oh, yours has a pink nose. That's so cute. Oh, you haven't gotten it yet. Oh, so you bought it. It hasn't arrived yet. Oh, okay, I see. Was the sale today? Oh, you're waiting for a unicorn too. I saw the stuff in her newsletter, but I got my little fellers already. I figure other people can get their fellers. They're addictive though. Like I wouldn't mind like 20 of those sitting around. There were some pretty cute unicorns, I think, or maybe that was last time around. I didn't get anything the last couple rounds. Oh yeah, last time I tried to get a thread pooping unicorn, but I was on my phone and it wanted to update my address or something silly, and that was too much time. It got sold, so. One of these days. But yeah, it's stressful to be there right when they go live and refreshing your browser, and your heart gets pumping. It's just so silly. Oh, you logged on 30 minutes early and even made a practice purchase, so your info was there. Oh, it literally sold one minute later. Yeah, oh man, that's how it goes. Isn't it just crazy town? It is crazy town, and don't even try to put 2 in your basket because that's gonna take too much time. You gotta hit click and pay and credit card and done. Don't try going through PayPal or any of that. That will be with too much time and you will have missed it. And that's what happened to my thread pooping unicorn. I did not get it in time. All right, last one here. Ooh, this says Misty on it. All right. So after this, we will press them towards the pink, which is actually our blue. And then we can trim. We'll trim these. I think we need, how many do we need? We need to cut these into 46 little units. So that's when we're gonna just chill and sit into our cutting. Measuring and cutting and being okay with it. Oh, you didn't even look at the one, you just clicked and paid. Exactly, I know, isn't that something else? That is totally how you have to do it. But they're all so cute that, they're all just worth it. I think they're all just so sweet. All of us together are gonna have like a little herd going. Pen pals. They're all pen pals. All right, this is all feeling really straight, which is making me happy. So step 1 of being accurate with these is good. Oh, you're caught up with me, but you're using a lot of different colors. Oh, so you're having to cut the squares and sew them together. Oh man, Rosalie, I bet you that's gonna look so pretty. So what Rosalie is saying that she's doing is, instead of sewing the strips and cutting little pieces, she's making all her checkerboard different colored fabrics instead of one, or instead of like the two fabrics. So it's gonna be like really pretty and patchworky. So she has to cut all her squares separately and sew them together. We're doing that trick where you sew strips and then you cross cut them a bunch of ways, and it's as if you've sewn a pile of squares together. But really, you just sewed some strips and cut them, and it looks like you made a bunch of squares. So this is a speedy little trick. But if you wanted all different colors, then yeah, you'd have to cut all your squares and sew them together separately. That sounds like some relaxing sewing, though. Oh, I totally love that look too. You'll have to share, Rosalie. I'm excited to see it. All right, we are almost done with this strip, and that is all the sewing for the time being. Next, we press and cut, and then count. Need to make sure we have enough of these. All right, we're getting towards the end here. Get a little ender in here. Okay, that is that. Snip. All right, let's snip all these. You're not using any pins for these strips. Well, if you feel like you need pins, there's no harm in that at all. But I just find if I go slow, and if I have, I'm really trusting my little business card there. That's been really helpful, so I don't have to pin it all the time. All right, 3 strips. And let's get this little guy off of here. I love this extra little storage underneath my table here. All right, to the iron and the kitty cats. Let's see if I can scooch over here. All right. So we are going to press each of these towards this blue top. So I'm going to kind of give it a little press here, and then, I don't know, we'll probably open it up and press at the same time. So the seam allowance will go towards the blue like that, versus like that. That would be towards the white. We want it towards the blue. All right, little iron, come here. Just get it started. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go along this whole strip. It's going to kind of set the seam. It's going to heat up that seam and set it. And my strips kind of need ironing anyway. I should have maybe done that beforehand, but I think we'll be okay. We'll set the seam and press at the same time. All right, now we'll scooch back here. And we'll press it towards that blue. There we go. Scooch up. In my little space, in my little ironing board, and my little iron, it's gonna be a matter of scooching it up and scooching it up and scooching it up. If you have a nice big table with a big ironing board on this, you can just lay this on it and do it in one big seam, one big bout. All right, scooch up some more. We're about halfway with this one. And actively, again, making the decision to just sit in each step today, because cutting and pressing typically are the steps that I forget take time. What is the point of setting the seam first? I think what it does is it kind of relaxes the thread and gets it oh man, it kind of sets it within the seam a little bit versus doing it cold. But if any of you have a different explanation, spit it out. All right, so there is our first one. I'm going to just hang that over my chair. Need places for all these big pieces now. All right, and second one. And again, I'm just doing it because my piece needs pressing anyway. Think of it as snuggling the seam thread into the fabric. I like that. Yeah, I've just kind of heard that it kind of relaxes the seam a little bit, like gets it ready to be opened and moved around and pressed. And I don't always do it. I only do it if it's easy, like if it's a weird position or, you know, really hard, or like I'm working with a huge fabric, then sometimes I don't do it. Yeah, you believe it. It sets the thread into the fabric fibers. Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard too. Who knows? Maybe it's one of those old wives' tale. We need like a scientific study on it, you know? There's a few rules that I feel like need to really be questioned like that, like, or, you know, just what's really happening, and have some scientists study it. For the greater good of all quilters. Scooching it up. Oh, you warm up the seam when you're turning a corner? Oh, I've never done that before. That's interesting. That makes sense. Assuming that we're under the assumption that it's setting the thread into the seam a little bit more. Okay, last little bit here, and I'll just run over this whole piece again. These are pretty together, just the blue and the nice little white. Oh, it's easier to turn out. Oh, well, that's interesting. I might have to do that next time. I'm going to have to remember that tip. All right, one more of those. I'm throwing that over my chair again. And here we go. Oh, I suppose I'll run over the whole thing again, so you might as well. We did with the other ones. They'll all be the same temperature or something at least, who knows. Thanks, Sue. I'm excited because this is that fabric, this blue fabric that I've had for probably like a decade, and just one of those fabrics that I never wanted to use because it's just too pretty, and I'm trying to get over that. I'm trying to actually use my pretty fabric, and I'm going with the assumption now that it's better to honor those fabrics by using them and making them than having them sit on my shelf looking pretty. Because that's what they were doing for a long time. But I guess the time just wasn't right for them yet, and now it is, you know? But I'm excited. So this blue is going to be the big border too. So the whole quilt, I'm hoping, has a overall feel like this blue. Eleanor Burns and Bone Steel said a long time ago to do it. And so you do it, yeah. Yeah, my mom told me to do it, and so that's why I do it too. And I'm sure she was taught in a quilting class to do it, to set the seam first, and that's how we all do it. We're told once and then we do it. That's what I'm saying. We gotta scientifically tested or something. Compare the two. I bet you there's a blog post out there where someone's done that. I know. Well, that's how I was forever, Sue. Just hard to cut into pretty fabrics. My first bout at that was kind of the Splendid Sampler project. There were some fabrics in there that I had saved for, you know, a decade, like this one. Just because they were just too pretty to use. And I finally used them, and I felt great using them, and so I did it for this project, and actually for the Charming Chevrons quilt that we'll be doing next, starting in January already, which is right around the corner. But the Charming Chevron, that one's using a lot of favorites too, and a lot of them will be a little familiar. There are different colorways of the ones that I used in the Splendid Sampler, so I'm going to use some of those again. All right, there we are. We got 3 strips. So what we're going to do now is we are going to trim the edge, and then we're going to cut, what is it, 2.5 inch. Let me double check that. Yeah, we're going to cut 2.5 inch little bits. And so we'll have like these little rectangles made out of two squares when we're done. And those, when we line them all up, we'll have a little checkerboard. Oh, I hope so, Rosalie. I'm so excited. All right, so let's flip down here. We're going to cut these one at a time. I was just thinking I could stack all these and all the strips at once and cut, but we really need to go for accuracy here, I think. So I'm going to start off by lining an edge on the bottom here, and I'm going to cut off this seam allowance. I think we can scooch it here. And then I'm going to rotate this, and then I'll get my ruler and we'll cut a bunch here. So let's get this, and I think we'll use my little 6-inch square ruler. It's got the best markings on it. I think this is my favorite ruler. All right, and let's snip those off. Don't need those bits. All right, so 2.5 inches. So let's flip this around. Get this guy going the other direction. Keep it flat though. Okay, so I'm gonna just start this on, same thing, on one of these kind of straight lines here. I think I'll maybe go on one of these little ones. I'm gonna tilt you guys up a little bit. My machine's in the way a little bit there, and I want this as straight as I can so it doesn't move around all the time on me. So, all right, right there, I have it aligned along one of those thin lines, and now I'm gonna just take this guy, and I have a 1/2 inch side here, so I'm just going to go 2.5. And I'm going to line up my ruler with both edges of the fabric, and I'm going to just even double check that the center line is lined up, and that looks good. So we will just make a pile of these. But there we go. So when we have a bunch of these, they will start, here, let me get another one and we'll take a look at it. They'll be like a little checkerboard, not really a checkerboard, just trading off colors. Like we're going from white to blue, white to blue, white to blue. I guess that's a checkerboard. There's not like the second row of checkers, just one row. So there, so we cut 2 strips off like this. But when we put them like this, we'll sew them back together, and it looks like we have just squares trading off. The seam, to set the seam, presses out any puckers, presses the thread flat, and warms the fibers, preparing them to be guided into the direction you want them to go. Sounds good to me, Sue. All right, so we need to make 46 units like this. So I think I'm going to just put them in piles of 10. I'll probably still have to count them afterwards anyway. I'm just gonna throw them in a pile. We'll count afterwards. I'm gonna be too paranoid to just count them now. I gotta do one step at a time. So I will just cut and not think about counting, and then I will count afterwards. So I'm just toss them in a pile right up there. All right, so I scooched it over again. And you know, again, I'm working in this small space here, so if I could spread this all out on a bigger mat, I only have, I'm using half this, this foldable cutting mat right now. So even if I'm not perfectly along a line here, it's not going to matter so much because I'm really lining up on the ruler as best I can. And it's just the 2.5 inches, so I think we'll still be good. I just need this area flat and lined up. So yeah, I'm throwing a line right in my seam and then making sure all the other sides are on the little lined up dots. All right, let's settle in and get cutting this. So there's 3 strips. Maybe maybe when we're halfway through the 3rd strip, we'll start counting. I don't know how many we can get out of all of these. Like, I don't know if we'll have tons extra or if we'll have the exact amount or what. So we will just see. Actually, this might be all we get done today, but it's all part of the process and should try to be enjoyed. But I'm telling you, man, this pressing and this cutting definitely wouldn't have been on my list of likes. But I'm definitely settling into the idea of just chilling with each step. And the moment I do that, everything gets way more relaxing. So I'm trying to actively do that a little bit more. Not worry so much about getting it done super fast or anything. I'd rather be accurate and not cut my fingers off. All right, we have a few more cuts in this first strip, and then we'll move on to the second. I like when you cut these squares, all the fun new like cropping of the pattern that you get. Like this one's gonna be just that red, like 2 little red flowers in the corners. That's neat. All right. The end is coming. There it is. I think we do actually have to add on a square here or there at the end of this. I'm not quite sure. Those are a little further in the instructions. First, we have to sew these together in strips, or checkered strips. I'm getting excited for all our next projects, though. You know, at the end of when you get close to an end of a project, all those other ideas and all those other projects start creeping into your brain. So I'm kind of there now. I'm ready to schedule it all out and get her done. All right, we just were able to get another guy out of here, so that's perfect. All right, selvage is gone. Let's just see. I want to see how many we got out of the one strip. Oh, you finished that French hen from Jacquelynne. Oh, that's so sweet. She's pretty right on measurements, I've noticed. So, oh, I should use most of it. Okay, so she's not giving us any slack. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, guys, what's 3 times 17? Way too late for me to do that sort of math. But that's about how many we'll get out of here. All right, next one. Oh, you know what? Let's get the selvage out of here first. Right there will do. All right. 51. Oh yeah, I suppose we can take the 7s, and that times 3 is 21. And then 10 times 3 is 30, so yeah, 51. That works, Bunny! I'd say yes. So 51. Oh, well, that's plenty. We only need 46, right? You'll need 46, so yeah, we'll have extra. But you know what? I think we'll just cut them all, because maybe we'll make an extra little checkerboard label or something for the back. $51. Yeah, so I'm guessing, you know, she gives you a little extra just in case you mess one up, or your selvages are extra large, or the width of your fabric is a little skinny. Sometimes the width of fabric is more like 41 inches instead of 44 inches. So good, she gave us some leeway there, which is nice. Who knows, we might make a huge mistake yet, and we'll need all that we can out of here. It's kind of relaxing cutting these little squares. I'm just excited for them all to line up together. This would be a good one to have a podcast on, or some movie playing in the background where you don't have to really watch. You don't want to have to look up while you're cutting. Oh yeah, Dina, with the hashtag I Love Home Quilt, the giveaway was last week, so I will, you know, be contacting the winner soon, and I will let all you guys know who won probably early next week. We have to get checked to make sure that there's no doubles or anything like that, because there's other bloggers as well. I think there may be one more giveaway at the end of this, though, so I will let you guys know. It really is fun seeing everyone's quilt come together, though. I'm still just kind of flabbergasted at how everyone can have the same exact pattern, and every single one, no matter what, is unique and has its own character and its own personality. I just love that. I wonder if you had a bunch of quilters in a room and you had all of their quilts like the same quilt. But, you know, like I said, they all end up different because people use different fabrics and different techniques and all that. I wonder if you could place the quilter with the quilts based on personality or I don't know, based on some sort of criteria. I wonder if someone out there could analyze the quilt and analyze the person and be able to match them up. That'd be an experiment. I bet to some extent they could. All right, we are just about done with this strip, and then just one more. Wouldn't that be fun? It'd be like a little fun challenge. Or like, you know, the guy would have to, the person, whoever is running the test, or the mind reader or whatever that's doing this would have to like interview each person first and then, you know, check out the quilts and then, I don't know, match them up somehow. That'd be, I don't know. One who gets the closest gets the candy bar. How about that? All right, last bit. All right, just enough selvage again there. And you know what, I think I'm gonna kind of mix these up a little bit so it doesn't look like we just did a continuation of the last block. You know, like this is a continuation of this block, right? So I don't want people to see like, oh, we can just keep matching it up. I don't know. I think that's a little above and beyond. I don't think that anyone would actually notice that. But it's getting late, and that's when my perfection brain starts to take over a little bit. I have a harder time quieting it. A new game show. There you go. That would be great on the quilting channel. I think we can find an audience for a whole quilting channel, quilting all day long. I like it. You know, there's probably some, you know, those really, oh, I'm cutting them this way, I guess. Those really kind of silly Japanese game shows. It'd be like one of those. Have you seen that one? So, okay. These pop up on, these pop up on my Facebook, but like those Japanese game shows, there's one for, I think it's like, is this candy or something? Oh, I'm totally standing too right now, Gretchen. I'm standing and leaning over because I have to cut where my face is right over what I'm cutting pretty much, just so like my body position is down, because if I'm like this, if I'm too far back, then I get worried that I'm going to slide and cut something. So I'm definitely right over this cutting. But yeah, that is this candy. I'm not quite sure if that's what it is, but like, so they make some bakery person, or what is that called? Like the people who make candies and chocolates, chocolatier, like some chocolatier or whatever, will make lifelike looking things like shoes and hats and tables and stuff. And people have to bite it, or they have to guess if it's chocolate or not or something. And then they bite it to find out if their teeth go in it or not. Like, that's the whole game show. Sometimes it's actually a table that they're eating. So they bite into a piece of wood or they bite into a piece of leather and, you know, then they guessed wrong. But sometimes that perfectly real looking thing is like chocolate. So like the plant is chocolate or the shoe is chocolate, but they look totally real. I don't know, that's popped up on my Facebook a few times, so who knows? Apparently I'm the right target for watching Facebook videos like that if they keep sending it to me. That Facebook algorithm. But yeah, it'd be a game show, like one of those. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, I'm totally loving this blue print. Like I said, this is one of the ones that I've saved forever. I think it's a Timeless Treasures manufactured print. I think that's what it said in the selvage, but it's ages old. I got it when I was visiting San Francisco, and oh, what is it? What's that? Oh gosh, I can't remember now. What's that fabric store in Union Square in San Francisco? Oh gosh, I can just think of the one by me, so it's messing up my brain. Maybe somebody here knows, but I got it from that store, so it has like significance because I got it in San Francisco, and it's just been sitting on my shelf being pretty. I'm really happy to be able to finally feature it in in a quilt. And, you know, then it just was in with all my fabric that was completely unorganized. But when I organized my fabric a couple months ago, then it popped up again. And I'm like, oh man, that's right, this print. I love this print. I should do something with it now. So I'm happy. It's finally living somewhere. Britics. Yep, that's it, Patty. Yep, that is the one. That's where I got it. That's a fun fabric store. It's right in Union Square, which is all like fancy shops and stuff. But then there's this cool fabric shop that's kind of like a New York style fabric store where it's just, you know, fabric as far as you can see and stuff for the home and stuff for clothing. And then upstairs there was a little quilting weight fabric area, if I remember right. We tried to go there last time we visited a few months ago, or a year ago or so, and they were closed, which was a bummer. Oh, you've never been oh, and you've been in California your whole life. Oh, bummer. Well, next time you're in Union Square, I know that if you live in California, that's not really a place to go because it's kind of just touristy and, like, you know, expensive shops and stuff. So it makes sense. I get it. I get why you haven't gone. But yeah, if you ever are showing people around San Francisco again sometime or playing tourist, you should hop in there. It's just neat. Did you iron the seams open? I did not iron the seams open. I ironed them to the blue side. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't iron these open, because I don't think they really have to match with anything. But no, so we ironed them towards the blue. My guess is it's just more hidden behind the blue than white. Sometimes on white you can see the seam through it. So I think since it didn't really need to be pressed open, it was just pressed to that side. See, if I push it towards the white, then we can see it. Oh, you're even in Northern California and you haven't seen it. Oh, funny. All right, you know what? I just cut all those. I forgot that I needed to count and stuff. And oh, look, I just put them the wrong side. So we only need 46 out of here. So let's just mix them up. And I'm going to count 46 out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I think I'm going to count by tens because I'm going to totally mess up if I do it differently. I double think and I double guess what is that phrase? Second guess myself if I count too high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, that's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that one's pretty. 9, 10, and 6 more. So let's just grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and then we got, how many extra do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have 5 extra. So I don't know. We'll leave those to the side for now. Okay, so I need 2 sets of 11 and 2 sets of 12 is what you're saying. So, all right, I have not actually read that far along. So let's check that out. I think we can still keep going a little bit tonight. All right, sew the units into 2 rows of 22 squares, 11 white, 11 pink squares in each row. Then sew a white square to the end so the row has a white square on each end. Press the seam allowances towards the pink. Okay, so the remaining 2 rows, okay, so yeah, 2 rows of 12, is that correct? 2 rows of 12 and 2 rows of 11, and on the 11 we add a white at the end, so we start and end at the white, and on the pink we add a pink onto the end, so we're pink and pink. So 11 and 12. All right, let's do that. So these are all 10. All right, you're 11 and you're 11. We'll do 11s first because they're in the instructions first, and then 12 or 11, 11, 12, 12. Okay, those guys can go away. Ooh, and then I have these extras. I'm gonna get my extras all the way out of the way so I don't mess those up. All right, those are going down there. We are just working with these. And man, now I think I need a double check. I know we just did it, but like I said, I get confused with numbers this late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And okay, so we are going to sew these together. I'm actually going to leave one totally to the side so I don't mess it up. And let's just start sewing these guys together. We're going to just, I think I'll start with a white, and we will just keep adding them, chain stitching these guys. We could chain stitch a whole pile, like all the rows together, but that would just be way too confusing for me this late at night. So I'm gonna just do one row at a time. So here's our first one. We just flip it around like that. I'm gonna scoot you guys down just a hair. Oh, yep, machine's still on. We'll do little groupings of these 2. And then we'll open them up or trim them all and do groupings of 4 and then groupings of 8. So, all right, here are the next 2. Just kind of kitty scratching them to where they need to be. And when I'm chain piecing like this, I like to do everything in the exact same way so I don't accidentally screw up. So all of these are facing the same way, and I grab them in the same way, and I flip them in the same way. So they all should be the same when they come off. So there's no little surprises of me like sewing the wrong thing together or something. And this is also when I'm really trying to focus on getting my 1/4 inch just right. Because I don't want this to be like too long or too short. And that's all going to depend on this 1/4 inch. We might be able to fudge it a little bit, but you know, these scant 1/4 inches, if you're off, they add up real quick, one way or the other. But we've been pretty accurate with the blocks so far, so I think we're actually doing an okay job. All right, let's do this one. We have one left. All right, so I'm going to just cut off the one at the end. I suppose I can cut them all off, but I want to just cut the one off at the end and then quickly do this last one here. There, see, we're starting to get our little strap. Fun. All right, this one will be a 3 for here. All right, now I'm going to snip off all of these. And we'll leave the one that's on the machine on there. And now we can start sewing together these twofers. So I'm going to open it up. Cute. Open up the next one. Oh man, I'm super excited for these little checkerboards. Look, we're getting a nice long row. Cute. All right, get these two together. This is such a fun way though to sew like a squares together, like a, you know, alternating squares, because you're really not. It's just that strip. So it makes it's like a little magic trick, which is pretty cool, I think. All right, so here are the last of the 4s. Then we'll start sewing the big pieces together. All right, we're good. All right, so let's snip these 2 off and get them together. I'm getting longer. I think next I'm going to grab that white piece that we need to put on the end, and I will sew that to here, and then we'll have to actually I can continue to chain stitch. I can just start stitching the next row. That's what we'll do. All right, so first of all, like I said, we'll snip this one off, and I will find that last piece that we need to make that white end. And I think I got one right here. Hopefully this is the right size. Looks the same size to me. So all right, let's throw that on the end. There we go. All right, now we need to actually sew these 2 together, but I'm going to just start my next row of 11. And that's how I want it in the same direction as the last one. We'll go like that, just so I don't mess myself up. So we're kind of starting the next row for the sake of that I can keep chain piecing. And I'm going to just let that sit on the machine there till tomorrow. Actually, I won't, because it'll be coming off right now. So, all right, let's unfold this. And this one, we just added that little extra white piece. All right, flip it around. We should have 1 border done after this. All right. Ooh, something's getting goofy here. Oh no! Oh, and look at that. We are out of bobbin thread. Can you believe it? We had like 12 more stitches to go. Ah, well, it had to happen. Well, we are not leaving that though, people. I'm gonna get this bobbin going yet tonight, and we're gonna finish this up because that's pretty lame. Let's see if I can just pull that apart. Yep, sure enough. If I couldn't pull that apart, I would have gotten the seam ripper out, but alrighty. Those gotta go together. All right, we're gonna scooch up to the bobbin world over here. Boo! What a bummer. Okay, I'm gonna get the bobbin out. It's a little hard with the extension table on here, but I think I can do it. All right, yep. Totally hate when that happens. Oh, I wonder if I have a spare. Let's check. So here's my little holder for it. Sometimes I wind a spare, but it looks like I haven't. This might actually be the spare already, so boo! Fine, let's trim. Getting all excited. Oh, and you know what? I think, I was gonna have my husband help me with that. So I think, you know how I got this fixed a few months ago? Or just like clean, or I got the belt redone, that's what I did. And they cleaned it all, but now I can't undo the side wheel to stop my needle from going. So I'm gonna have to do this with the needle running, which is a bummer. So we'll see how that goes. I think the motor just has to work a little harder then. We're actually getting kind of low on this thread here. I think we'll have plenty for this project, but man. Oh, sorry, Debbie. All right, I'm gonna scooch it ahead fast. Whew, let's hold that down. No, it is a Kenmore, a Sears Kenmore from I think '74 or something. I forget these bobbins, the 50 weight Aurifil or 50 weight thread goes a long way. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to stop right there because it really is using up a lot of thread, and I want to make sure that I have enough thread on my actual guy there. All right, let's get this back in. There we go. I'm gonna try and do it. I think I gotta turn this off because I can't see. All right. All right, so I always remember the thread's going over the top and it's pointing away from me, while the bobbin case, this little knobber is pointing towards me. And then I guide it through. All right, let's pop it in. Kind of going by feel here. There we go. A little hard with the table there. All for one seam, one little seam that did not get done. Okay, I think we're back in business. Let's thread this. Ooh, something is not right down here. There we go. I was not in all the way there. Okay, good to go. Get my table all lined up again. All right, let's get this last seam. I'm gonna start it with an ender again though. And little scissors, trim all those extra threads. Okay, let's do it. Poor little strip. Should really check my scant 1/4 inch again, but I think we're okay. And you know what? I'm gonna just end with one of these leaders tonight. Okay, so there we go. Now we have our long strip. So let me just tilt you this way so you guys can see it a little bit better. So there we have one border done. So it goes from white. Oh, sometimes you stop for the night in the middle of a seam to know exactly where you left off. Lucy, that is actually a fabulous idea. I've heard of writers doing that before, stopping in the middle of a sentence so that they knew exactly where to start. But all right, I think I'm not going to press this. I think I'm going to wait till I have all 4 borders sewn, and then we'll just press them all at once. But there we go, one done, and everything else is prepped. We have all the pieces cut, so we should be able to whip these out tomorrow and probably get them on the bigger piece. So that's awesome. I'm excited. All right, guys, I'm gonna flip you around and we'll call it an evening. Hello. So, man, Bobbin, you never know about those guys. But look, pretty border. I'm excited. So thanks for hanging out for just that one last silly seam. But we gotta have a fresh bobbin now, so we know that we'll be good to go for the rest of the quilt. So that's good. Better happen on a little itty bitty square than in the middle of a huge seam, so that's good. So all right, guys, this will get up on Penguin and Fish Movies before the end of the night here, and it will stay here on Facebook. Thanks again for hanging out with me. See you guys tomorrow. Good night.